Who could forget this image? You remember what you were when you saw it, weren't you? Climbers, back to back, queued in a traffic jam on the edge of Mount Everest. Well, the man who took that iconic image, an Everest veteran and multiple record holder, is with us here in the studio. Explorer Nirmal Purja, better known as NIMS, is attempting to climb 14 mountains, which are all higher than 8,000 metres, in just 7 months. He's already summited 11, including 3 peaks, which he reached in just over 48 hours. He's going to tell us all about it with us now. Hello. Hi. How are you? Met you for the first time last night. I was a little bit in awe. My goodness me. Good. Tell me all about it. You sold your house to get involved with this project, didn't you? Tell me from the beginning.
So basically, I had never planned to climb all the 14 peaks, in such a short time at all. And I wouldn't even dare to do this. The whole of the idea came, when I was on Everest in 2017 as one of the lead instructor for the Gurkhas. This was the second time the Gurkhas were trying to climb Everest in order to celebrate 200 years of service to the British Crown and the country. So what happened?
You were a Gurkha for the British Army?
Yes. So.
And in the Special Services?
Yes, so I served 6 years with the Gurkhas. Then I was with the Special Forces for 10 years. So what happened at that point on Everest is normally an official team take the responsibility of setting the fixed lines to the summit. So that season, it didn't really happen. And the season was almost over and there was no progress with the fixing lines to the summit. So then what it means for us anyway was one, when you say you are a Gurkha, everybody thinks that, Everest is in your back garden. Mm-hmm. And, people will say, oh, yeah, it's in your back garden and you didn't even summit and you are Gurkha. And that was a bit of reputational risk. And the second one was, this was the second time that the Gurkhas were on Everest. And certainly I thought, whenever you'll get the second chance to climb Everest, of course, using the British taxpayers' money. So those were the risks. So I came with the plan that I would go and lead the fixing team, which went very successful. We were the first to summit from the southern side. Immediate after that, a remainder of the Gurkha team came in and submitted. So 13, British soldiers submitted on Everest in 2017. After that, I came back to Kathmandu. Obviously, we had a big celebration. We partied for a few days. And
last night, you were talking a lot about partying. Oh. You like to party when you're back down.
Well, I think, that's who I am. Try to enjoy a bit when you can. And so, so from Kathmandu, I went back again on Everest. Then I summited Everest again. Then I summited Lhotse, which is the world's 4th highest mountain, and summited Makalu, which is the world's 5th highest mountain. And I did everything that within 5 days. And again, stopping for 2 nights for a partying. So, yeah.
Unbelievable.
So at that point, I realized I have got so much to give into this mountaineering world. Hence why, I came with this Project Possible idea. For this, of course, I had to sacrifice my job within the Special Forces. I had only 6 years to be entitled for the full pension. But again, I never joined the Special Forces for the money. It was pure, I wanted it from here and here. Yeah. So, and this project, exactly the same thing.
So you were 6 years away from your pension, but you thought, don't want to do that. I love the mountains.
Yeah, I love the mountains, but I also wanted to break this speed world records. In order to, one, establish a paradigm shift in perception of human potential. 2, basically, most of the climbers from Nepal are called the Sherpas. They have been the frontier of 8,000 since this kind of an expedition started, but I felt like they never got the credit. So this is to bring that up, and I also support 2 charities. One is, called Chorachori, which support the children in Nepal. They have been, rescued from trafficking and all. And another one is I support the British military charity. As you know, that I have been on war for, obviously so many years. Mm. Unfortunately, some of us, who went to war doesn't come home in the same way we left the country. So, yeah, and then and I'm also supporting the climate change with the global warming. And that's purely because a few years back when people talk about it, I didn't really believe it, if I'm honest. But 2018, I was on Amadablam. Amadablam is one of the most technical mountain So this was the second time I'm there. I was on 2014 as well. 2014, we could melt the snow at Camp 1 and obviously cook food and stuff. But when I was there last year, we had to carry gallons of water. And when you had to carry that heavy kind of stuff, it was, there was no snow. So then I realized, okay, this is real. So I'm trying to raise the awareness about it.
So you climbed 3 in 48 hours?
So I climbed Everest, Lhotse, and Makalu within 48 hours.
Unbelievable.
Just trying to break my own previous record,
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You managed it?
Yeah,
it was a challenge. Then what did you do? Because when I was in the Alps, I heard that you were climbing, was it K2?
Yes.
And it was a really dangerous climb because of the conditions. People didn't think that you would be able to do it, but you did. Tell me about it.
So K2, obviously, I was on G1, G2, and I knew that 90% of the climbers had given on K2 this year. And those who were waiting at
Why had they given up?
So it was big, kind of an avalanche risk. And so what happened was there were two kind of, like different big commercial companies trying to set the fixed lines. The first one became unsuccessful because the avalanche came and took 2 of the lead climbers. And the second guys, again, exactly, they went over there. And for me, when I came into the base camp, I looked at the videos and it was scary. And I think this was the first time ever in my life where I had doubted my ability. And I was quite concerned about it. And some of the good mountaineers that I respect from my heart, they had given up, and I had seen the videos. And also, but what it put me to go through this challenge is, when you go into Special Forces selection, roughly, like there will be 200 men, going for the selection. Sometimes, like 10 people make it or 11 people make it. And if you listen to those 190 who have failed, you will never go for the selection. It's always going to be sound, big and all. So I put that negativeness away, stayed positive, and eventually, we opened the route for everybody else on K2. So, yeah.
Unbelievable. Seriously, I keep saying unbelievable. I can't think of anything else to say because it truly is. It truly is. You are a mountain among men, if you'll forgive me. So talk to me about what happened after that, after K2.
So
was K2 when you carried out the rescue as well?
No, I have done 4 rescues. So the first rescue was Annapurna, which was Mr. Chin. So basically he was, he was disappeared. He was reported to be disappeared for more than 36 hours. I was at the base camp, and just to be completely honest,
You thought he was dead, didn't you?
Yeah, we thought he was dead. And we got to the base camp, and a few friends were waiting over there. I came about 10 p.m. We had a few whiskey, we celebrated anyway. And then we went to bed about 3:30 in the morning. Then 6 o'clock, there's a helicopter coming around, and they say, one Sherpa came into my tent and said, Nims, you need to come out. And I was like, what? What happened? He's like, apparently Mr. Chin is alive. I was like, what? Anyway, long story short, we started obviously ramping, and then it was my team who said we're going to go in and do the rescue. So just to put into the context, we were get dropped on a long line at just below Camp 3. From where we were dropped to where he was on the summit day when we were fixing lines, it took us more than 18 hours. But when we were rescuing him, we covered that distance in 4 hours.
From 18 hours to 4 hours, because you knew you needed to get there quickly.
Quickly, and everything what I do in life, we give 100%, and we knew that he was in trouble.
What happened when you got there?
And so we got over there, and first question was like, okay, we are
was
here
he still
to save you.
conscious?
And I said, how many of you can see us? And he said 4. And I was like, okay, he's conscious. Then he said water. And we just gave him a bit of sip of water, straight put him into oxygen, and started carrying the rescue. And the rescue was successful. We did brought him alive to Kathmandu, but unfortunately, he passed away in his home country.
But you did everything you could on the mountainside to try to bring him home safely. You've summited 11 of the 14 mountains already?
Yes, 11 of the 14 in 93 days. We have got 4 months now to do the rest of the 3. Still struggling from the fund. I think the biggest problem for this project, Bremen Project Possible, was the funding, purely because it was super hard. I came from the Special Forces background. Nobody knew who was Nims. Even though I had 3 world records before coming, saying that I would do this, it was hard. People would ask, how many followers you have on this, that. It was crazy. And then for me, I couldn't just give up. So last 4 months where I had planned to train for this, this giant expedition, I was busy. My normal routine was 4 o'clock wake up, try to do this Instagram crazy post. After that, 7 o'clock train to London, 3-4 meetings, back home about 7 p.m., dinner, and then follow-up emails. Never been bed before midnight. And it was like that for pretty much 4 months. And when you are in special forces, you do handle stress really well. You do handle the situation where you are put into stress in a situation in the operations. Never been phased out by that. But for the fundraising, I still remember I was driving in M3 towards one of the meeting, and I was just emotionless. I had just tears coming through my eyes. I just had to come off the M3, and I started again. Nims get a grip. So come back again, and I crack on, and it's been epic, the whole journey.
Well, behind every great man, of course, there is a woman who supports him. I'm hoping that your missus will come and talk to us after the break. If not, we'll talk.
Few months has been obviously very stressful as a family as well. So, but obviously I try to obviously not stress as much as possible. Try to keep myself busy. Obviously, I'm helping him with obviously the background admin and everything for the project as well. So keeping myself busy in that sense. And he always say, no news is good news. I'll just keep that in my head and try not to,
So if you've not heard from him, it's good news.
It's
if
good
you've not
news,
heard from anyone else,
say.
it's good news.
Yeah.
He's still on the mountain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. Yeah. So you were telling me you've got... it's the first time ever that anyone's climbed all the major mountains in Pakistan in one season.
Yeah, so I think we did in the first phase, and second phase again. The funding has always been the hardest, work of this project anyway. So I was straight, I finished the project straight into the work, writing emails to everybody that I know, and obviously the crowdfunding and all. And it was only nearly about, I think, 10 days before I was about to fly to to Pakistan. Bremen stepped in and they covered the gap. And obviously...
And that was for the second phase?
For the second phase.
And the third phase?
Third phase is not funded at all. And I hope... And if I'm to be honest, Project Possible is not only my project. And I have seen a lot of people from all over the world have supported this project. And
so what can people do if to help support you?
I think, we have the GoFundMe page. They can obviously support from there. They can also go into my Instagram and send the message if they can, which is on Nim's Die and all. But I would just like to take this opportunity to say thank you to everyone who has been part of this Project Possible. Either you have donated £10, £20 or whatever, and then and also friends like Anne Middleton. He's been one of the key sponsor alongside with Bremen's. Everybody, you all know who you are. I'm not just gonna keep on telling the names, but as I say, this is our project, and I truly believe that if we all unite, we can make this happen. It's nearly there.
Yeah. And some of the headlines from what you're saying are that we really need to worry about climate change.
Yes.
You're nodding. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he talks to you about that, I'm guessing, when he's at home.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we obviously hadn't had much time with each other, I would say, but yeah, we have obviously like he mentioned earlier as well about how his experience was in one of the mountains where he could melt water and drink in previous years, and things are changing, and obviously everyone is affected by it. I would say the world is, so we need to do something
to be aware of that.
Be aware at least, yeah.
So you set off when?
So I will fly to Nepal on 28th of this month.
Oh, soon.
August, soon, yeah.
And you're going to be away for?
Hopefully, I will finish the project at mid-October, but I'm guiding again in November. I'm taking the wreath on Amadablam on 11/11.